Game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity, Division 1 of HeroesLounge.gg. We got the dudes against the GTFO. So, all Division 1 teams that we have here today. This is a best of 3 series. There are no crazy rules. Everything is on the board. Meta Madness is over. We got Vic for the blue team on Liming, Risk on Hanzo, Virgil on Leoric, that guy, Moponeko, I cannot pronounce that to save my life, on Diablo, and Chibis on Stukov. The dudes in blue. On the right side, the GTFOs with Soaking on Arthurs, Fish on Myrden, Cloud Destroy on Vala, Huntdog on Brightwing, and Madron is playing Chromie. So, look at that. We actually have a Vala. It's actually kind of cool once that Meta Madness is over to see some of these heroes again. I mean, I'm nearly happy to see Brightwing. Obviously not. But Trashwing is still there. So, with that said and done, I'm told that this guy is pronounced Moroshenko. I am not gonna, well, I'm gonna try and remember that. There's a very good chance that I'm not going to remember it. But either way, it's a best of 3 series. It's Division 1, the highest division in Europe's biggest amateur scene. So if you want to play a little bit more competitive with like-minded people, you should definitely check them out. HeroesLounge.gg is the website. And you can participate over there either as a full team with your friends or just as an individual player and join one of the free agent teams. But if you've never heard of them before, then I would highly recommend that you check them out. So up to the top, we now have Soaking holding his own against 2. Vic and Virgil on Li Ming and Leo are there. There's a lot of heroes that we haven't seen for a while because Meta Madness was going on for the entire time. So now we have not only Li Ming back, but Leoric. There's a Diablo all of a sudden and a Vala. And I gotta say, it's kind of fun. It's weird. Those were heroes that the entire time you looked at and you were thinking, I really would like to see some other picks every now and then. And now that we didn't see them for what I would say was nearly 2 months, 1.5. Now I'm looking at this and I'm just like, yeah, it's actually kind of cool. Especially seeing Vala again here makes me personally happy. She's always been my girl and therefore let's go. Arrow build for her, trying to burn the Immortal down a little bit quicker. And the party there continues with Leo now stopping by. I really don't like this skin, I don't know why. Space Lord, a lot of people really love it. But Leo has first of all the Janitor, and then you also have that Ice Giant, and I love those so much. Whereas this one, it just pales in comparison, is a little bit sad. So Virgil over here, it gets a B- for the skin. Could be much better, but at least he has one, you know, he's not plebbing it out or anything like that. With level 4, we now got the Repeating Arrow, we also get the Magic Spit over here. We got Frozen Wastes and Rhyme for our boy Arthurs. Now that's actually a little bit surprising that we're getting Arthurs for them in the first place. And on level 4 we also have, in addition to that, the Reverberation, so it's going to go into the Bronzebeard Rage on level 13 later on in the game. To the right side of the map, Cloud Destroy doing his thing with Hunter Orc. Again, arrow build with 6 stacks to his name thus far. First objective is not going to be doing too well in that regard. But once that we're hitting level 7 for him, it should be much easier with the Monster Hunter. So, yeah, they're all trying to make their play over here for the first Immortal. Liming, of course, fantastic in that situation. You can always just fire away your abilities, and you are guaranteed to get some value. They're trying to run our boy Moroshenko and Diablo down. And Vala is getting a few more stacks together. The GTFOs, they gotta be careful to keep her alive. Our girl is still a little bit squishy, and yeah. Another arrow could hit hard here though. She's sitting at 7 at this point. Camps are pushing through both of the lanes. The red team is getting absolutely murdered over here. Like, boys, you really gotta get out. Oli Ming is gonna get a couple of resets. And there it is, the first blood on Trashwing. Yeah. Brightwing down, Soaking destroyed as well. It's a double kill. Li Ming on Hanzo working in tandem to get the hits together. And now we got the ghastly reach for Leoric. Obviously the red team has now tried to also get the hit points a bit reduced. They still don't have level 7, so there's nothing that Vala can really rely upon in that regard. But they're getting some stuff done here, and Chromie goes down. Alright, the Chromestar gets eliminated. That is kill number 3. Blue team is doing very well in the team fights. They're not really pulling ahead in experience or anything though, but they're definitely going to win this objective until this, unless disaster strikes, which I don't really think is going to happen. So yeah, so far so good. So from their perspective, things are looking pretty solid. They get their level 7 just in time for the push. They got Calamity now. They also have the never outmatched for Hanzo. We have him with this level 4 that did a beautiful job during the first Immortal phase. And for Leoric, a little bit more on the drain here with a hopelessness. Now, their own game doesn't really look all that hopeless. We got Skullcracker now, and there is the Monster Hunter. Okay, so time for Vala to pop off a little bit and try to chunk that Immortal down. Solo lane still at the top, so down here we got a 4 versus 4, wall destroyed. Fish with another Storm Bolt. Yeah, and the Immortal goes down before they can take the fort. So they hold on to their structures. Good for them. But they're falling a little bit behind in experience. Next objective should be a bit different though, since Vala now has her own level 7, and this is going to make a huge difference for her. So time will tell. Towards the top, still that 1 versus 1, Arthas and Leoric, with a lot of drain being done there by Leo himself. Should have decent damage output, honestly. 10,000 for him. Get some free drains, and ooh, that's another kill. Blue team, the dudes, they're popping off. Actually, team name is Dudes 2.0. Don't really know what Dudes 1.0 was, and if it's just like a general name or if it's a bit of a tip to the head to the Big Lebowski. But either way, we have them rocking the early game. And I like it. Okay, so with that, what do we get here? We get another push for the fort, I suppose, since they're also getting a bit closer to level 10 now. And with heroic abilities, the dynamic of the game should maybe change. But they could try and snowball this one hard, especially since they're already trying to take the fort down. And that would help them even further. 15 stacks for Vala. This is actually getting quite nice. So Vala is stacking very aggressively now. This is exactly what she needs to do, so that with the next Immortal, they're going to get some real nice burst damage on the objective. And also for hero kills later, this is going to make a big difference. If you get a lot of arrows out, use the repeating arrow, sometimes even, of course, with level 20, you could try and get a few more resets, then you're really in a territory where you can do a lot of initial damage to the target. And that's particularly true for the Immortal. The timing for them is quite unfortunate on the other hand, because there's level 10 for the blue team, and they're gonna love this one. Since they have heroics, the opponent doesn't. They try to go for Vala, and she gets pushed out of the entomb, and the arrow misses as well. Wait, what? Okay, so Leo was apparently overdoing it a little bit. Too much power. I mean, look at this. The entomb comes down, and then Leo is like, you know, Diablo is like, you know what? I'm gonna push her out of that one really quickly. The arrow doesn't happen either. The arrow actually could have hit, but Li Ming went in with her own ult, and I think that pushed her out of Hanzo's arrow. He was not in time to cancel that. So things are not really going too well in this fight for the dudes. Instead, we now have a halftime show tie between the two of them. Vala with the aggression, or Li Ming with the aggression against Vala. And it's Murden that dies with 6 kills to 0. We're closing in level 10 for the GTFOs, and now they are in a position where they can finally start to fight back a bit. But apparently, the first objective is still going to be taken by the blue team. They might get a Diablo kill on the other hand. Oh, yes, they do. Arthas gets the hits. And you know what? This isn't even over yet. If Vala can now just move towards the top and get a few more arrows connected, they're not going to win this thing. But she might be able to chunk down that hit point pool pretty significantly. Li Ming is going to finish it now. But still, that's pretty decent. That's another 10-15% that Vala was just able to take off. So that helps quite a lot. And they have, with that 1 kill, also started a comeback, at least to an extent. Yeah, they want to go for Li Ming. Nice! Nice trap. Really good move by Murden to cutting her path of retreat off. And now we have Diablo in trouble. The follow-up was a bit late. They were hoping for the kill here, couldn't quite get it. Vala went deep for it, and she gets punished, so she's down. But Leo also falls. The Immortal is already on the map and is sitting topside now, going full solo on the fort. 7 kills to 3 in the meantime, as the GTFOs are trying to fight back here. And the dudes, they are, I don't want to say struggling, but they definitely have to put in a little bit more effort now for their kills. Red team clearly trying to come back here. Bottom fort will likely fall. Soaking alone is not going to be able to hold this one. And up at the top, one fort has been destroyed. The Immortal was able to take it down without any big problems. And now at the bottom of the map, Vala is finally able to seal the deal here on the objective. The problem is with 2 forts now lost, the red team is still losing ground. They are. Still losing ground over here. Still being pushed back a little bit. And, well, with 24 stacks in Vala's name, next objective should be a bit easier. But the blue team is just getting these kills. And as the death timers are increasing, it's helping them a lot. They try to go for Arthurs again. Diablo, though, yeah, he's getting murdered. The fight not over yet. Vala with a quick strafe. Li Ming, of course, looking for an angle again, since there's a lot of heroes that are rather low. And if she gets the reset, then she can carry them throughout the fight. 7 kills, 2-4 at this point. And down to the bottom of the map, another Khaldor camp is now getting attacked. But look at the gap in experience, it's nearly disappeared. They nearly closed it. So now we have the talent for the dudes with a bit of a lead, but it's not a big one. And it should be disappearing very, very quickly. Yeah, quite curious to see what exactly they can pull off during the 3rd objective, because this is going to be a really important one for the GTFOs now that they've lost 2 of their forts. They are relying on their keeps alone to keep the catapults at bay. 27 stacks for Vala, so she's slowly getting there. Oh, and again, Diablo just pushing her out over and over again. The arrow, on the other hand, hits hard this time, and there's the barbecue. Yeah, Vala gets away. A lot of ults being used by the dudes as they are trying to get a kill before the Immortal spawns, but it is not really working out. So this is the moment where I think the GTFOs might be able to flip the game. They still have a lot of their rogue abilities. Most of the blue team were used. And Vala, even though she kind of screws up the timing on this vault a little bit, or the angle, is now murdering the hit points on the Immortal, as you can see here. I mean, yeah, her level 7 and the arrow do massive amounts of damage at this point. Going in a little bit deeper, another arrow, and they take down Stukov. Halftime show has already been won. The red team is crushing this, absolutely crushing it. They also gotta hurry a little bit because there's a camp pushing the top and they need to be very careful about it. We have Diablo dying, Vala immediately moving over, trying to take the objective as the rest of the team is still brawling, and it results in Leo getting murdered. So now they are drawing even in kills. There's a camp at the top lane that is starting to take the wall down. Thankfully, the catapult is absolutely griefing. That driver should lose his license immediately. And then in the meantime, we're now looking at the Immortal successfully locked down by Vala. Arrow damage, baby. And 31 stacks for Vala on her level 1. Okay. Job well done. What can they do with it, though? They need to try and push this. They need to try and be a bit aggressive with it at this point. Move in and look and see if they can maybe crush this. This fort at least. Ideally more than that. But with the lead that they now established in experience, they could also gain level 16 while they're pushing with this bad boy. And that would help them even further. Nice stun into the Immortal Slam. Yeah, but the defense is holding strong. Hanzo is chunking it down as quickly as he can. Now the fort is going to disappear, that's a given. But there's level 16. Big shove from our boy. And now we got Manticore also for Vala. Makes it a little bit more likely that we're going to see the Farfly Quiver on level 20 over the potential Acrobat here. Another Stormbolt connects. Nice, they're trying to zone. But Chromie is there. Another arrow. Narrowly missing the target. And on its way to Florida. Whereas we have the red team still trying to go through that wall here. And with Soaking arriving, it's now officially a 5 versus 4. Since Leoric has turned towards the top. But they're not trying to be more aggressive around us. They're just disengaging. Playing for the objective. And in this case, that means playing for the camps. Yeah, we got 44,000 damage for Vala. She's currently top damage in the game. Chromie with 41,000 is a close second, with Hanzo coming in third. Still trying to go for Arthur's. He already popped his ult. Should be able to make it out here. So, yeah, shove is out. The flank is coming. Muradin with a big jump. and here comes Vala. Few more arrows, at least trying to. Yeah, hitting one on Li Ming, and she doesn't like that whatsoever. We're now talking about 36 stacks for Vala. That's a pretty significant damage amount when you're going for double burst. But this keeps happening. She always gets trapped here. Now they're saving the day, and Hanzo gets crushed by Chromie as she comes in and flattens him like a pancake. So he's down. They're pushing Arthur's a bit deeper, straight into the fort. But I don't think they can turn the fight yet. Well, then again, he doesn't have any mana left, so they might just be able to pull it off. But so he gets saved by Brightwing. Look at that. Brightwing with a little bit of value. Vala now at 38, 39 stacks. More damage. Oh, lots and lots and lots more damage. Damn. If she can survive and retain a little... Oh, the fish! The fish gets out. Vala, 1 arrow, 2 arrow. Goodbye, Diablo. Stacks reset. He loses his souls. Leo activates his trade. Brightwing is dead, and Vic with combo attempts, but another... Oh my god, they're killing everything. Look at Vala! She's popping off in this game. Getting 1 arrow in after another, and now we are at 44 stacks. That is massive. That's actually massive. We're talking 500 damage if you're going for a double arrow just with the initial hit. So she is murdering the objective. And also, as it happens, murdering the opponent's team. She was at 44,000 damage a little bit earlier. Now she just expanded that to 61k. So, pretty crazy shit. 8 kills, 212 is what we're looking at right now. We have the Immortal heavily controlled by the red team. They are absolutely crushing this one. So, yeah. Job well done. Another set of hits from Vala as she comes in once again. So good. There it is. Another big hit. And Leo is dead. Alright. So, with that said and done, we're having topside 13 kills to 8, 2-level lead. And off we go. So, another hit and a few more moves there. Trying to take down the top fort, trying to go for the keep, down to the bottom of the map. We have also still a bit of a battle going on as Soaking and Hunter Orc were trying to go for some split push pressure, but the fort topside has now been disappearing, and with the camp and the catapult they can still continue with a double-pronged attack here, especially since they're hoping to get the experience for 20, and that's something they just accomplished. So we get the Acrobat for Vala, even more tumbling around, and just look at the damage that she dishes out against an isolated target. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. She's at 46 stacks now, and she just crushes everyone together with the help of the rest of the team. So it seems like the GTFOs might even be able to push this one towards the core. Closer and closer and closer. Hit after hit. 16 to 8 kills. And that should be all she wrote for game number 1. The GTFOs turning it around after a rough early game. Now they're taking the core down. We're going to map number 2 of the best of 3 series with the lead for the red team as they annihilate the dudes on Battlefield of Eternity. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, the GTFOs are in the lead, everybody. We got Towers of Boom as game number 1. And on the left side, Vic on Genji, Risk on Tychus, Virgil on Diva. I forgot his name again. Moshorenko, Moroshniko, whatever. Garrosh, and we got Chibis or Chizis on Anduin. And on the right side of the map, the GTFOs with Soaking on Dehaka, Madron on Chromie, Cloud Destroy on Medivh, Fish on Diablo, and Hunter Orc is playing a Brightwing. Okay, so on the Brightwing game, but we got a Medivh in the house as well with the Portal Mastery on level 1. Obviously, we're gonna check out the baseline. Grenade build for Tychus, and yeah, let's get the party started here. So we got a light bomb engage, Genji Anduin, meaning we have a swift strike with light bomb to engage into the backline. For the second time in a row now, the red team has Chromie, so they can use her here and try and take them out again. Down to the bottom of the map, Genji is already a little bit active. Top side, we get D.Va. It's actually kind of funny that D.Va gets now taken also in Division 1 as well, not only in Meta Madness. But yeah, still very much looking forward to some of these oddity picks. And while we're talking about it, again, a quick reminder that we have a Nations Cup coming up. We have an offline event coming up in Berlin. So if you guys were not able to go to Miami last year when we had the offline event with the North American, Korean and European teams meeting up against each other, we have another event. It's happening in June. The offline event is happening in Berlin. And if you want to have all of the details, once again, I'm going to try and remember to put the link into the video description so that you can check it out. It's going to be awesome. Entry is free, you don't have to pay for a ticket, and it will be pretty spectacular. I honestly can't wait. The venue is amazing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But okay, either way, we got 2 kills to 0 now, as the blue team is starting exactly the way that they did on the last map. So right at the beginning, they are the ones picking up steam. They're invading the opponent's pumpkin camp in this case, and they got the entire thing locked in 2 kills and are now pulling ahead. So good stuff. I suppose that they're not going to have any trouble locking their own camp in as well. We got the nuclear option right here, a little bit of the bigger they are for Tychus. No stacking, no Master Assassin for the trade, and instead just trying to burn down Diablo as quickly as possible. Medivh can of course have a bit of a say in that with his shield. Yeah, and talking about his shield, he's currently sitting on the Arcane Rift with 10 stacks and is trying to slowly get closer to his quest being completed. Has to be a bit careful with the shield whenever he's getting attacked here to make sure that he doesn't lose those. That would of course be the dream for the blue team if they could take him down early. But for now, the dudes are desperate to get a win and then force game number 3 in this one. Triple altar phase, first objective of the game is popping up right now. Top side push, still happening. Right wing is still down at the bottom of the map. Could technically help out at the top if they need to. They have the double support. So with the Haka in particular, you always have somebody that just can move over after channeling the first altar through and then help the team out. And he is going to get the solo channel over to the top right, as Genji is already moving towards the 3rd altar. But definitely the Haka can be there a lot faster than D.Va, for example. That gives them a small window in which they could have the numbers advantage. But instead, he moves topside, tries to get them another wave. Obviously, the blue team has pulled ahead in experience thanks to the kills earlier. A lot of zoning happening, and that's a successful channel on the altar. They're not really risking too much here. They kept the Haka up at the top, get a bit more experience, try to close the gap a little bit, but it costs them a few points on the course, and now they're down to 32. 2 out of the 3 altars going over to their opponents. Yeah, Genji moving in, trying to go for soaking here and trying to help Diablo in this case. Oh, get wrecked! Poor Genji. There he thinks he's a stylish assassin, going full ninja style, and then he gets totally murdered and crushed. Didn't see that one coming, did he now? We got level 7 talents in. Teams are now hoping for level 10 to kick in around the next objective so that the light bomb engage can happen. Always, of course, assuming that they're really going for that combo, but there's no real reason not to. I mean, what else are you going to take? He could technically go for X-Strike, but I would assume that in this case they're going for backline damage. Yeah, the drag attempt. And Anduin, the pullout king, once again saving Moroshnikov over here on Garrosh. Alright, so we got 23 stacks by now for Medivh, and they're going again for the camp. They really want this. They're going for the 2nd time now onto the pumpkin camp, and everybody's fully committed to it. We have level 8 on both sides with Tychus dropping low. Rest of the blue team is also not looking too healthy here. Couple of portals already out. Chromie again with their own ult as they're trying to take him down. Quick move by Genji into the backline. They're looking for the first kill, but Genji is the one that goes down. Nicely done. He's dead, and so is D.Va. Well, at least the mech is gone. So they're being pushed backwards. This time the camp is saved by the GTFOs. And now, of course, you are in a bit of an awkward position if you're the blue team, because you invested time and energy and cooldowns into trying to steal the pumpkins away, but you weren't able to get them. So only your opponent has a camp. You left your own alone. The first channel has already happened with the double altar phase, as Brightwing was able to sneak in the one at the bottom. And here in the middle, we're going to very likely see a similar picture, because it's half a level until level 10, and I'm not so sure if the blue team is really going to be willing to fight for this all that long. As the Haka is rotating between middle and top, they could stall this one out and then just use level 10. Medivh risking something here. He's at 37 stacks. He needs to be really careful. He cannot die right now. At least he shouldn't. So he's at 39. I guess he's going to complete it. The Haka is now also joining the fun once again. Diablo's about to go down, but they are about to hit level 10. I'm just not sure if they can get the objective. So, yeah, Dibbles is going to be back. He had his souls. Quest completed. Quest complete. Time to feed. But nope, Brightwing has a say in it as well and is helping Medivh out. Another interrupt. They still don't have level 10. It's so damn close, and yes, there it is. The channel gets interrupted again. The Haka is already dead. Seems like Chromie is also going to fall. Brightwing is trying to help her, but the dwarf goes down. Alright. Nomi is eliminated, and Fish is also dead. They got level 10 first, but it didn't really help them. It didn't help them at all. They only got Tychus. Everybody else got fully destroyed here, and I think it's time for a full 5-man team wipe as Brightwing gets murdered. The altar goes to the dudes, and that was a massive, massive setback now for the red team. Yeah, they lost a lot here. They were obviously fighting tooth and nail in an attempt to get to level 10 and then use their heroic abilities to take the opponent down, but boy did that backfire. That backfired really hard. I mean, they got the early level 10. The problem is by the time that they finally hit it, they already lost their first hero. And then afterwards they lost even more. So, it is what it is. They gotta deal with that now. We have another quick move at the bottom of the map, as the blue team is now attempting to push this a little bit further, trying to make the play. We go for Diablo, and yeah, he's still able to get out. It's not too crazy yet. I mean, it's half level lead, a little bit more than that. Definitely something that you can recover from. And let's not forget about the good news here, because there is actually some. Good news for the red team would be that Medivh completed his quest before he died, so that is going to help him with the damage output a bit. Genji cannot go for light bomb engage, but well, he did go for X-Strike, so actually, what am I even talking about? Like, seriously, I'm still a little bit brain dead. The weekend was rough. Meta Madness was a crazy week, guys. I've been doing nothing else the last 4 or 5 days but casting and editing videos and preparing for the next day. But yeah, somehow in my head it was just like, oh, if he does not go for the Dragon Blade, then he can't go for Light Bomb Engage. But yeah, Khaldor, Swift Strike is not an ult. That hasn't happened yet. So yeah, so he can go for the Light Bomb Engage. That's still a thing. So excuse me being a bit brain-laggy today, but with level 13 now in particular, they can try and use their talent advantage. They have an entire level until we're getting there, and Genji is going to make that move into the back lines, particularly for Brightwing here. But off we go. Dibbles is down, Mech is lost, but I think D.Va can still make it happen. So yeah, the ley line is out, Medivh is dead. He's doing a lot of dying now that the quest is completed. But the rest of the team is also not looking too pretty, so they're really running in trouble here. And there's another mech as well. Apparently, Tychus got a little bit jealous of D.Va, and he was like, you know what? I got one too. I'm going to show it to you right now. There it is. Let's take some bell towers down. D.Va with the explosion, and poor Haka. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and he's dead again. The dinosaur is once more extinct, and I suppose that this is going to also seal the fate of the bottom bell tower. They're going to get this one. I at least thought so. Genji gets attacked. Diablo really, really aggressive now. The fish survives, but not by much, and he needs to be careful because they are going to drop him again if he sticks around like this. Keep in mind, they still don't have level 13 talents. So, yeah, they saved the bell tower, but for how long? Got the timeout here for Chromie. And yeah, well, at the same time we got Hellfire and we got the Ferocious Stalker, so they are being a bit more aggressive now that they have level 13. But there is a significant lead now for the dudes. We're talking 1.5 levels. If you play your cards right at this point, you are continuously gonna run the numbers advantage over your opponent's team. So yeah, they should be able to get that level, 16 soonish. Might have to give up this altar. Depends a little bit on what they can actually pull off here. But yeah, we'll see. Now Soaking at the top gets still pushed back a little bit. We now have 1 level missing until 16 kicks in. 15 seconds until the altar is ready. And Chromie firing away. And of course with Chromie, you should never really count them out here. Level 60 is going to be big on the other hand, because the dudes with Anduin, they're going to get the double pull. And he is going to, yeah, just ruin their day. 6 days to Sunday. By trying to just get targets back to safety. Nice move, making sure that they're all zoning them away from Brightwing, so that was pretty good. Yeah, good attack against Anduin as well, but the problem is that Dehaka is still in a bit of trouble. Thankfully for him, they have a Medivh that can supply a portal and help him out here, but it also puts Chromie into trouble. Medivh is doing what he can. That man needs a raise. Shields and portals everywhere. That Leyline, on the other hand, is strongly hinting that he's maybe a little bit drunk, but I would be drinking too if I had to try and save Chromie all day long. So now we got Genji with a kill attempt. Gets again stopped, and what? Diablo's down, but so is Genji. He went in deep, but they still got him. They got the bell tower too, though. Seriously? Alright. Oh boy. Yeah, where's that grenade? Tigers waits for the cooldown. It's gonna be a grenade, and this thing is down. Not even a grenade. Grenade isn't worth it. Don't want to overkill that one. But yeah, 16 is of course fantastic for them. Not only do they have the Titan Grenade now, they got the Glyph of Faith. 2 great rules. Final Cut, also pretty solid talent. Can be impactful, just as this Dignitas. They can tell you a story or two about that. Sky Temple. And, well, at the top, we have Dehaka now catching up with the blue team in experience. Well, not quite catching up, but he catches up to level 16. Now that we have the triple altar phase after the second one, it gets a bit more spicy, because here we are with tons of points available for the dudes, and they got 5 bell towers to 3. So big advantage if they can claim it. And Chromie is not going to be able to claim that bell tower in time. This one is a freebie. Nobody is going to get anywhere near that. At the top, I would assume he's going to try and interrupt, and yep, that's the case. But the cavalry is already here. Shots are being exchanged. They're coming over to interrupt Genji again. The core is not under 19 points to 25. But Chromie is still at the bottom of the map. Red team cannot interrupt this for long without Chromie. They need to get her up here if they really want to do this, but they're giving up. They were hoping that Chromie can maybe get the bell tower back in time. That obviously wasn't happening. So now we got 25 to 14. Yeah, D.Va gets saved. They were thinking of going for the boss here. They might still try to do that. Light bomb. Nice. Big stun here. Huge stun. Brightwing down, Medivh is dead, and they are wiping the floor with them. At least Chromie gets a kill for them and takes Tychus down, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a 4 versus 3. They are gonna go for kill number 2 though, and they're getting it. Okay, Chromie is a bit low, but killing Garrosh here was huge. Chromie on the other hand gets bunny hopped, and she's dead. We got 62,000 for Tychus. Damn, son. He's popping off. 62,000! 20k more nearly than Chromie. Really getting there. Yeah, Bell Tower's been retaken down at the bottom of the map, but as they're brawling it out and continuing to get some staggered kills, seems like the dudes are taking more and more of a lead. They still have nearly a level over the opponent's team and should hit level 20 a lot sooner. Boss at least was denied, so that's the good news. Deny the boss, make sure that that doesn't happen. We now have, down to the bottom of the map, with 15 to 8 kills, another invade happening from the GTFOs as they are trying to be more aggressive. They know they got a gap to bridge, and even more importantly, they have to win a few fights, so soon you will trail behind in talents. So this is the best time to try and make some plays. All the way up at the top, got the double altar kicking in soonish. No real stacking going on here anymore, so nothing happening on that side, but the ults are all back up. That's normally an even exchange. Blue team is a bit late. They still have a long way to go until 20, so I don't think they're going to stall for that. But the 4 shots are fired. 21 points to 14. It's a fairly even game, honestly. I mean, in kills it's a bit different, but when we're just talking experience and also bell tower points, and it is fairly even. Now the GTFOs, they know they have to fight now, or they are going to go up against level 20. But Medivh is dead, the light bomb. They go for Brightwing. She gets crushed, and this is bad news for the red team. They're really losing ground, they're losing it quickly, and there's a good chance that this time the blue team is going for the boss again, or at least for a bell tower. They already converted the top over, and there's a 5 versus 3 now on the map. So boss gets taken, Anduin goes for the channel. That's another 5 points off the core, dropping it down into the single digits. And to make matters worse, once the boss is taken, they're going to hit 5 points. 5 against 21 with an entire level lead. And of course, they're going to aim to dish out more damage against structures, hoping maybe to even convert over the bell tower in the middle. Don't think they can do that. But yeah, they're just jumping straight into the camp here, trying to claim that before it's taken by the GTFOs. Now, that didn't happen, but they are looking to force these fights whenever there's an opportunity. 4 shots, 5 shots, all they need. All they gotta do is one more altar, and it is a double altar coming up topside. Unless the red team takes back one of their bell towers, they have to take both of them. Yeah, bit of a flip. But what about D.Va? Okay, she gets out. Light bomb engaged, looking for the backline damage again, at the same time making a play for Diablo. Quick pull, and he's fine. D.Va coming back out. Level 20 for Chromie is of course messing with them a little bit, stuck in a loop here. They're closing in on level 20, so that's good. But we have 27 kills now, and 18 for the team in blue, for the dudes. They're duding it up here. Fish escaping with another portal. Altar's activating. They gotta win one. Only one for the dudes, and they win the game. It's all they gotta do. So this is very, very uncomfortable when you are playing for the red team. Highly uncomfortable. One good channel is all that's needed, and you're going to game 3, which the red team is obviously trying to avoid as best they can. But let's see what they can do here. Once again, here comes already Odin. Keep in mind, his damage output was insane this game. 80,000! Big kill from Genji! Double kill against Chromie and Brightwing, and that should seal the deal here. They could even try and sneak one on the right side. Leyline activated. Still, the explosion comes through. Dehaka in trouble. Medivh being chased. They're gonna lose the game right here. I actually expected them to try and cheese the right side, which they didn't. Instead, they're going for the kills. Medivh is dead. Dehaka has fallen. The only survivor is Diablo, and Genji is already channeling. So this is gonna be a 3-mapper. The dudes with the victory. Genji making it happen. They take Towers of Doom, and we're moving on to the 3rd map of the series. Nicely done. Game number 3, we are on Infernal Shrines, and don't be confused, but they were a little bit sneaky and they switched sides. Now, I adjusted the overlay already, I caught it this time, but just in case you were wondering, the teams indeed switched sides. So, we got Soaking and Hogger this time, Hunter Hawk on Anduin again. We have Fish on Stitches, Maldron on Hanzo, and Cloud Destroy on Genji. So the Shimada brothers are united on the blue team side. And apparently they saw in the last game how amazing Genji Anduin can be. And they thought, you know what? We're going to do that too. We're going to do that on the next map. So to the right side, we got Moroshenko on Anuburak, Vic on Kerrigan. Stun heavy comp. Virgil again on D.Va. Risk on Junkrat. And Chibis is playing Lucio. Pretty spicy comp here, especially from the blue team. Now, this is a best of 3 series, so whoever takes this map wins the entire thing. We're still in Division 1 of HeroesLounge.gg, obviously. So the round robin, the season, slowly coming to a conclusion as far as I know, and then we have the end of season tournaments. I'm also going to try and cast a couple of the games, at least the final ones. Nice hook there from Stitches, but couldn't take down Carrigan. Got fairly close though. We got Soaking now, top side, just doing his thing. And down to the bottom of the map, still a bit of a rotation happening. It's always the plan, of course, to rotate between the mid and the bot lane, try to go for the camps once that 1 minute mark is there. And, well, all the way up at the top, Soaking is currently just pushing this solo. D.Va, she's helping with the rotation as well, but eventually she's going to be locked into this battle against Hogger. And Hogger is obviously also going full boss mode on the camps, then later on when they spawn, we have them already on the map. And for Stitches, we got the patchwork creation. No real surprise there either. With now the Fury of the Swarm, Legion of Beetles, and the Full Metal as a level 1 talent. It's especially important for the red team, for the dudes, to try and get some good stun combos off and then lock kills in. That's why they're playing Anubara Carrigan here in the first place. Bit of displacement from Junkrat can also go a long way, trying to isolate a target. But these stun combos, they have to be really spot on. And Vic in particular, if he's being set up by someone, that's great. Talking specifically Anubarak, of course. But a big jump. Oi, 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 oi. In the middle of the tower range, and Carrigan is dead. Yeah, that was highly unfortunate for her. So Carrigan kind of killing herself there. It was a little bit telegraphed that Genji would swift strike out, but she obviously was hoping that she would catch him before that. But just so that you got a little bit of an idea, that's a long jump. So if that doesn't win you an Olympic medal, then I don't know what does. They didn't only lose Carrigan, they also lost Lucio. So that's 2 kills to 0 this time in favor of GTFOs. Now, it's a bit unfortunate to lose half a level on your opponent in a situation like this, because the next objective is going to center around the team's ability to get to level 7 early. And yeah, that's not. Top right, that's where we have still a camp to be taken. The same is obviously true for the blue team as they're trying to make a move for their own. We have down here at the bottom of the map still Genji doing his thing a little bit, trying to go for a risk here, but he takes the safe path and doesn't just walk past him. So no damage to be done there. But Hogger got hit. My bad. So Hogger gets actually caught in the middle. Yeah, that is pretty nice now for the dudes, because not only did they close the experience gap a bit, making it easier for themselves to get to level 7, but they're also now ahead in numbers for the time being, so this is actually helping them a lot. And Nubara can deal with the minion wave in the middle. They have Carrigan down at the bottom. She can decide on where she wants to go exactly. Blue team's a bit faster with their talent, but again, it's already 17 stacks towards the objective for the dudes. And I don't really see the blue team taking this anytime soon, because now it's level 7 versus level 7. They're probably going to try to at least get some kills in here. But with Hogger now moving down to the bottom of the map, you can already tell that they've given up on this. They're not going to be able to claim this one, and they know it too. So Vic is being pushed back out. No risk for him either. Top side, they're starting to take the camp and the objective. So Mortar Punisher is now starting to move throughout the top lane for the first forward. Now they're doing a little bit of damage here in the middle as well. Genji pushing another lane back out, and they've already claimed the lead in experience. But they are still met with resistance from D.Va and Carrigan. That means there's only 3 heroes pushing at the top. And off we go. 1 down. Punisher not really doing too much. I mean, they get the wall. Bit of damage on the fort. It's nothing spectacular. Oh, that hook was a little bit short, but very close. That definitely nibbled on Anubarak a bit. I can guarantee you that much. Now, everybody is just trying to destroy a few towers, maybe a gate, get an easy hit in somewhere. Soaking is realizing that he might have just outplayed himself a bit. Gets stunned, and Anduin comes through, pulls him out of the fight just in time so he can survive this one. But this got a lot closer than he was hoping for. I can't guarantee you that much. 35 stacks for Genji on his level 4. 23 for Karrigan, so they're actually progressing quite well. And we got the Dirty Trickster over here for Junkrat. As we have Moroshenko with a quick tap at the fountain. But it's a little bit more of a slowed down game. It's a bit weird to say because we have 4 kills already, but they're not as aggressive as they were in some of the previous ones. Everybody is hoping to get to level 10 quickly. And of course, since this is game number 3, you don't want to end up in a situation where you make a stupid rotational mistake and then you lose another hero and find yourself getting completely snowballed. So now we got the light bomb engage again with Anduin picking his ult up. We had already the Vile Cleaver and the Putrefaction, and now we get the Putric Bile here for Stitches. So no Gorge plays in this game. Could have done that, decided against it. I'm gonna play this around the objective more so than anything else. Riptire's coming out. We got the bunny up too. Riptire with a nice connect, and Anduin in particular was a bit low. Genji, big stuns. Oh my god, nice. Hanzo arrow and Genji stunning it out with a light bomb. And now we have Lucio and Anubarak both destroyed. Another hook on Divas. They're trying to get her too. The mech is gone. Can they get the kill here? Karrigan's combo is not doing anything. No stun, and she pays the price. 6 kills to 1, 1 level lead. And that's a fantastic position for the GTFOs. They are pushing for the bottom 4. The wall is already gone. Genji getting even more aggressive on risks. Junkrat can't claim the kill, but zones him out further. And that allows them to take the minion wave easily and take the fort. Really well played here. This is all happening before we have objective number 2 on the map. And let's not forget that this particular objective is going to travel through the bot lane. So they just destroyed the fort here. They can either let it go for the bottom wall and push it through the middle, try and take another fort here, or they can try and push together with it and maybe even get a kill. It's highly unlikely that they're going to get the keep, honestly, this early in the game. I mean, it has happened before, don't get me wrong. If you land a good hook beforehand and then you make your play there, then you could pull that off. But most teams will resort of going for the mid fort and let the Punisher just destroy or attack the bottom keep wall. We got level 13 any moment. That's going to be pretty big actually for Stitches. So Stitches is going to get the extended range on his hooks. D.Va has moved towards the top. So she is currently doing work there, trying to get some hits in. We have, yeah, the attempt to take a fort down. At least Genji matched it. Overwatch versus Overwatch. But nobody's going to be able to claim this. Or at least I don't think so. With 22 to the name already, they would go for some... They have to go for some real quick kills if they want to have a chance here. Look at Auga. Just bong, 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 bong. Anduin needs to save him though, and didn't. Riptire. And Anduin is just sitting there, and Auga is thinking, team, Anduin? The fuck? So he's dead, and now we got 6 kills to 2. They still got the Punisher. Genji's not moving in. But yeah, Hawkeye is just ping-ponging around, and Andrew's like, don't worry, bro, I got you. I was like, haha, I was kidding. So yeah, he's dead. Level 13 gives us the under pressure. And got the enchant boots line speed. But yeah, fantastic. So yeah, just gets killed there. Now we got 6 kills to 2. I don't think that Hogger really expected the Riptire to get unleashed on him in that short range. I really think he was trying to just pong out, let himself be saved by Anduin. And then when the Riptire literally just got ripped and exploded half a second later in his face, it killed him instantly and he had no chance to react to anything there. So, kind of funny, honestly. So down to the bottom of the map, it's Karrigan. She's the one dealing with the Punisher. It hasn't really done too much, but it still damaged it a little bit. They were going through the top lane wall at the same time. In terms of damage, 25,000 for Genji puts him into the driver's seat. We have number 2 in the standings, Hogger. And then number 3 is Junkrat. With Stitches on 12,000, I mean, keep his build in mind. Again, the attack on Hogger. And And these Riptire kills against him are more and more of a thing. So he's dead as well. At least they got Carrigan, and the rest of the red team is also fairly low. But it's a similar picture than before. D.Va is topside, so she's dealing with the camp. And these number advantages are working for the GTFOs. Big hook, nice! That's the moment when you hope as Stitches that you already have your level 16 to lock the target down a bit further. The attempt to go for the light bomb engage didn't quite work out for them. Yeah. But 16 would be big, of course. Now we're 10 minutes in. Single fort is all that has been destroyed. All 3 deaths on the blue team from Hogger, by the way. All 3 of them. So that's why Hogger now goes back to soaking. He's going to be right back. Half a level and they got level 16 talents kicking in. Next objective is going to be at the top. There's a few walls also destroyed by the red team, so they definitely haven't given up on this one. Bit of a joint effort now by Hogger and Genji to try and go for a D.Va here. We can't get her just yet. I was actually waiting for the hook there from Stitches, but we didn't get that either. There's still camps to be taken down, and off we go. There's the Pulverize. The hook! And immediately a Nubarak on his way back out. But Pulverize, big obviously. Glyph of Faith, another big one. And then the final cut from Genji too. The dudes should get level 16 for the next objective. Don't really think that's a problem for them. There's a window that could be used by the blue team, but it's nothing too crazy, and it will be close in a second. That arrow going nowhere, but Genji is going for the kill. Tried it at least. Gets stunned again. They claim an Uberak, so the cockroach is gone. But the Riptire is still out and is apparently looking for Hogger. Was so successful the last few times that they're trying to do it again. And guess what? He's dead once more. 4th time that he gets murdered. Yeah, there's a couple of reports incoming if you ask me. Well, not his best game there. Still, Lucio made it out. They try to go for a D.Va who's just bunny hopping through the battle. Ooh, they found a Carrigan. Yeah, Chrysalis is not going to help you there, honey. That is... well, maybe? No way. Really? Guys, you need to go on the same target. Good kill on D.Va. Carrigan is dead too. They got the double kill. Splitting the attention actually worked for them. And they're trying to get even more. And they do! They kill Lucio. Lucio is dead. So are Carrigan and D.Va. 4 versus 2. And I suppose that they're just going to go for the objective here. There's little that they can do in the middle of the map with this lineup right now, but they are with 11 kills to 4 in a solid spot now. Hogger, he's going to use his PhD in PvE to try and get his team ahead on the objective. As long as he doesn't have to deal with Riptires, he's going to be fine. 1 level lead for them right now. 1 level lead right there. So, yeah, Risk jumping out. Fish sitting tight. And slowly moving towards the top. Red team hasn't made any moves topside just yet. They're slowly making their way over there with at least a Nubarak, but obviously the lead is already fairly big. Soaking is just taking these down one at a time. We have them with nearly a 20 lead, and Genji can now slow them down a bit too. Sees them actually going for the camp and is very tempted. Anduin on the other hand, he gets completely crushed. Walked the wrong way for sure. They took him down from 2 sides. Junkrat, Genji is able to take him out. There's no second kill here. Ah, nice. Another stun as they're going for Carrigan, but the Chrysalis is out. Arcane Punisher has been taken. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I thought he would just go for the... yeah, I really thought he would go for 29, which is like wait this out. So 39, and then just take it later. Wait for Anduin to come back. But they took it right away. So as they are continuing to brawl with the red team and look for kills, they lose Hanzo. They might get an Uberak, and they do, so he gets murdered. The cocoon was dropped just a second too late to save the day here for the cockroach, but at least Stitches gets killed. And in the meantime, the Punisher at the top is taking the fort down. So he's doing work, but then at the bottom of the map you have D.Va, who's just going full PvE in this game, also doing the exact same thing. So it's a little bit of a fiesta that's happening right now. There were definitely different plays to make. You could have stalled out the objective a bit further and tried to resurrect some of your heroes first. But the Punisher takes the fort. They lose a fort at the bot lane, so in structures it's even Steven. And in experience they're also very close. The big advantage, I'd say, is that the blue team is now in a position where they can take the mid lane fort. Yeah, so they're going for this one too. Really weird game. I mean, game number 3, obviously, you know that you have to win this one. So a couple of mistakes are definitely being forced here. But still fairly interesting. So, we got Hanzo starting to come back in. Level 20 is, of course, next up. And we have a shrine in the mid lane that they're all looking for. Epic enter for Nuburak as his level 16 talent choice is now also ready. And we got the painful spikes for Kerrigan. Have you ever seen spikes that are not painful? Is that a thing? I think it's a little bit redundant. Like, usually spikes are pretty painful. I've rarely seen spikes that are not painful. Yeah. 20 is ready. And we get the gift from the Embalmer. Full on embracing that build here. With Rewind coming in and the stop and pop for the bunny. So, another hit, another combo. And it's our friend Hogger that is dead again. 5th time. Everybody died at least once, but Hogger, he is currently in charge on this one. Okay, so everybody is going for the pirate moves. Ults galore. Everybody just popping off on this one. Kerrigan gets crushed. It's a 4 versus 4. And D.Va is again over here. What does D.Va have in terms of hero damage? 24,000. How did D.Va get 24,000 hero damage? It feels like every single time that I'm looking at a team fight, once that I check the minimap, D.Va is somewhere off on the sides going 4 lanes. She has 150,000 siege damage because of that. And if I look at the experience, 18k for her. D.Va is nasty currently, at least when it comes to her taking down minions. Team fights, not so much. So there's another camp to be claimed. But yeah, it's a bit bananas. Alright, another quick jump. Cloud Destroyer is in. Genji is making his move. And the objective not up just yet. But all of the forts are lost for the red team. So catapults becoming a problem. Slowly and steadily. I mean, if D.Va just continues to sit on the side lane, then it's not really a thing. But outside of that, those catapults will start to hurt sooner rather than later. With 17 minutes on the board, you definitely got to be careful around this. And they're already taking some of these minion waves down now, down at the bottom of the map. It would honestly be worth it to take this one as well. Someone should take it, but they want to go for the objective too. Now, keep in mind, a bot lane wall has already partly been destroyed. So if you get some catapults on that, it's definitely going to do... It's going to make an impression. Yeah. So, Hogger, pong, 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 pong. Careful, my friend. That Riptire is coming. That arrow, on the other hand, is not going anywhere. Epicenter missing. They try to go for Stitches this time. Riptire in search of a target, but Fish is unaffected as Anduin pulls him out. So, yeah. Big stun from Hogger, and Anduin knows exactly who he has to save in this battle. So, Soaking is still alive. They're trying to go for D.Va again. And, well, I spoke too soon. The caster curse has hit, and it has hit hard. Hogger is dead, and so is Stitches. Lucio also gets popped all of a sudden. They're all dying here. 4 versus 3. The dudes! Yeah, they turned it around. They get the Frozen Punisher. I believe this is their second objective in the game. And now they have a chance to take some of the forts down. The one at the top is already insanely low. And they're going for the trap. It's a trap! They want Stitches, and well, they're gonna get him. So Fish walking out all alone here proves to be a bit of a mistake. Another one bites the dust. The fort is gone, and we got a comeback on our hand. So, yeah, 12 kills to 16. They definitely brought it back in this one, now that they're 5-manning properly. And they want to keep. They're not just moving topside to nail another fort. Nope. They want to keep here. Or do they? Still missing Lucio, but it's 35 seconds and the Stitches is back. I honestly don't really understand why they're not making a bit of a move for this. I don't understand what exactly they're afraid of. Ults are back, granted. Maybe they're really afraid because they're own on cooldown. But I believe that they could have made a few moves there. With Stitches dead for another half minute, you could have poked this a bit more. Or just move towards the top and take the fort at least. But they did neither. They just went for camps. So, not quite certain what exactly the thought process was there. I'm a big fan of not overcommitting and knowing when to retreat. But with the main tank on the other side, the guy that throws the hook out the entire game, with him still dead for another 30 seconds, I still think he could have poked a bit from afar and reduced the hit points. I mean, either way, it's fine. We're resetting. Teams have both level 22 now. And the next objective, spawning at the bottom of the map, is of course going to be important. Outside of that, we have one fort at the top. That's still standing for the GTFOs. 48,000 damage for Junkrat. 63,000 for Genji, if I'm not mistaken here. And, well, here we go. So, Soaking down at the bottom of the map. Starting to make his play here as well. And Hogger with a no control, trying to get kills and get saved by the Cocoon. He actually gets saved. The Cocoon saved him, and now Andu... Oh my god, why? Why? Oh, they should have just killed him. Worst that would have happened is they trade a kill here. I don't really understand what Anubarak was thinking at this point. That was not needed. Yes, they might have lost one hero, but they would have killed one for sure. And there's a high chance they could have killed Hogger before he gets the kill. So instead, the Cocoon, and then... the good news, I suppose, is that they were able... nobody died, but they used too many ults in that last fight. They also used Karrigan's Ultralisk, and they used the ult on D.Va, so that's a lot of cooldowns burned, whereas very little was used by the blue team. And now that we're sitting up at the top side, with that push, they should be able to take that fort apart. Maybe not. But the camp can at least be attacked. Ooh, nice hook. Good hook. Alright, so hook is out. What else can they take? Still trying to come in with another attack through the middle, I suppose. Keep in mind the objective is spawning bot side next. There it is. And the hooks keep coming. One lucky hook and you might just win the game of that. If you hit the right target and take it down, then the next objective is yours. And you can make your move. Okay, so bot lane, Soaking, still doing his thing. They got a couple more camps. Where's the red team going? What are you guys looking for? Shrines at the bottom. Karrigan? Yeah, they're going to be... I mean, again, catapults are problematic. But they are starting the fight down here. Without her. Karrigan isn't here yet. Arrow hits, but there's no consequences just yet. Riptide and Explosion. A little bit of damage on Stitches. And Junkrat made it out. Junkrat out of harm's way for now. The Cocoon already on the ground. Hogger again pogging through targets, or trying to. Good shockwave from him as they're entering the choke point. Comes back in again and gets crushed. 7th death on Hogger. He's dead again, but the red team is so low. Karrigan, she dies, but she's getting the kill on Genji before she goes down. Lucio zipping through, and boy, what is happening here? The dudes are actually making a massive combat. In the mid-game, they already started it, but now it gets better and better. They lock in another Punisher for themselves, and that should allow them also to get a few more kills. Down here, is Fish really going to escape? I'm not so sure about that. We have a stun coming in as they're going for Anduin now. The only one missing on the red team is Karrigan, and yeah, Anduin is dead. Anduin, oh, John Cena himself comes in and takes him down. This is a bit problematic for the mid-key, but Karrigan should be back in time to deal with it. And down here, this should be the end of the keep. And maybe even more than that. Fish gets attacked. Time to say goodbye. He's gone. 17 to 16 on the kill count. The keep is definitely gone. Can they get more? More catapults at the top. If they don't end the game here, if the blue team can save it, I guarantee you that the dudes are going to lose a lot. because those catapults, they hurt. Kerrigan, she's AFK! What the fuck? Are you serious? Kerrigan is AFK and the keep in the middle is getting destroyed. They're pushing back and they're actually defending. What is going on? That's 5 reports right there. Why did nobody pause the game? And in the meantime, the keep has taken damage. Are you shitting me? What's going on? Even if that's a disconnect, even if there's a problem, I don't care if he dropped his pizza, if his mom called that food's ready, or if somebody else knocked at the door. Pause the bloody game for a moment. What happened there? 68% on the core, and look how low these keeps are. What? The keeps should not be this low. The least that Kerrigan needs to do in that situation is defend the keeps. Oh my god. Now the blue team with a big chance here. Big chance. They can take 2 keeps if they get a kill here. I can't... I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like Kerrigan could have gone to the other side of the map and helped them end the game. But she could have definitely defended the keeps a little bit. Hawkeye is dead. Mid keep is gone. That wasn't necessary, as I said, but let's see what they can do. They go for a second kill, and now that they have a 5 versus 3, they should be able to seal this one. Hanzo is dead. So is Stitches. This has to be game. The core is already at 68%. Genji is the only survivor, and they are making their way over. There's a double catapult moving into. So the dudes, they're about to take it. As it happens, it wasn't really a big problem. They made it happen. Good job, good move. Once again, a little attack here as they're trying to go for Claw Destroy. And I guess Genji is finally going to be taken down. He is, and so is the core. A victory for the dudes as the GTFOs lose game number 3, and therefore the series. Well played.